Hi everyone, we are going to discuss an interesting portfolio situation in this video. It's actually a confusing one, and it's exactly the reason why I have brought this on this platform. So let me talk about the question first, and then I'm going to talk about the option choices one by one, followed by the correct answer to this situation as per the PMI mindset. During the scheduled review meeting, it is decided by the portfolio governance that the R&D project in the digital transformation portfolio is no more required and should be terminated. It is decided to reallocate the resources from the R&D project to the AI enablement project. The activity most likely has happened while A, the portfolio is being defined, B, the portfolio oversight and monitoring is being undertaken, C, the portfolio is being executed, and D, the portfolio authorization takes place. Now, this could be, I would again say the same thing, this could be very confusing. Why? Because there could be many answers to this situation. And I know that those who are aware of the PMI portfolio management and PfMP mindset, they would agree to me on this. But actually, we need to go with one best answer as per the portfolio management standard and PfMP ECO. So the situation is very obvious. It happens like very regularly in the portfolio management and in departments and in business functions that once a project or a program is completed, then the resources from that project or program has to be removed. Or if they are full-time or permanent resources of the organization, then they will have to like go back to the department and they probably are going to be assigned to some other initiatives, any project, program, product. And it's exactly how the resource optimization concept works. You can't actually let them sit idle or do nothing because this actually counts towards a cost to the company. So this is exactly what is happening over here. That like they are talking about a portfolio which is digital transformation portfolio, and they are talking about two projects under that portfolio: R&D project and AI enablement project, and they're saying that as per the portfolio governance, R&D project is not needed anymore, and whatever resources, budgets, and human resource, and this and that you have allocated in there is not needed anymore, and that's going to be removed from the R&D project, and is actually going to be reallocated to the AI enablement project. I mean, it sounds really like an idea and nothing big deal. However, the actual question is that this activity, which actually is a key activity in any portfolio, happens as part of the which portfolio management process. Now we are going to see option choices one by one. A, portfolio definition, or when the portfolio is being defined, which is actually not a process, it's like a whole, I would say, it's a whole phase, or it's like a whole set of processes. So portfolio definition is when the portfolio is being defined, like when the portfolio strategy, the portfolio charter, the portfolio roadmap, the portfolio management plan. I mean, this and that like is formulated and defined. So of course, this doesn't happen as part of portfolio definition. This activity in the portfolio management is going to happen when the portfolio is already in running, in execution, in working. So A is completely out. B, the portfolio oversight and monitoring is being undertaken. Now, this is where the interesting part of this situation is. So, I'm going to talk about B in a while because it's between B and D. So, let's talk about option C. Actually, it's between B, C, and D. But I would like to talk about option B in the end. Let's first talk about option C and D, which doesn't warrant that option B is necessarily the right answer. But let me first talk about it. So, most of the people would say that you are talking about a situation where the portfolio is like in full swing, it's working, and some of the components are being undertaken, some of the components are being closed, some are being terminated. I mean, this and that. So most likely you are actually like from a portfolio management perspective, you are actually uh, keeping an eye, and you are performing the oversight, and you are keeping your eye on everything which is being undertaken in the portfolio, and you are just making sure that the portfolio is delivering the best results as per the best optimization, and that is going to happen in the portfolio oversight process, which is B. Maybe some of you would say that as a portfolio manager, you are actually running the portfolio and you are trying to make the most optimized use of the resources. And this is like one such step where the resources are going to be appropriately used, and you are going to make sure that they are not sitting idle and they are doing useful work. And if not in the R&D project, then in the AI enablement project. In this way, their cost is going to be justified, which is option C. Right? But I would say that I am actually in the authorized portfolio process in while I'm explaining the scenario. Yes. So it's neither B nor C. It's D actually. Now I'm going to explain to you guys that how D is the most appropriate activity for this situation. See, to understand this, we need to know that what is authorized portfolio process. Authorized portfolio process not define. Authorized portfolio process provide portfolio oversight and optimize portfolio. These three processes are tightly coupled with each other. Like one process is dependent on the other. So B, C, and D are actually talking about these three processes. So B is portfolio oversight process, C is optimized portfolio, and D is authorized portfolio. Authorized portfolio means that the portfolio work, the different projects and programs, the portfolio resources, and the portfolio um, decisions like what is incoming, what is outgoing, what is terminating, what is changing at a strategic level, the strategic decisions, and everything about the work of the portfolio is being undertaken by the portfolio governance, which is stated in this question. Yes. So this is the reason why D is the right answer. Because this decision is taken by the portfolio governance, not by the portfolio manager. If it is taken by the portfolio manager in his at his authority level, then yes, I would have agreed with you. Then C would have been the right answer, because that happens in the optimized portfolio process. Optimized portfolio process is the portfolio manager's process. Optimized portfolio means that portfolio is in execution. Portfolio manager is doing everything which is needed. Manage supply and demand, manage risk, manage information, aligning the portfolio to the strategic objectives, managing the resources, managing the performance, keeping an eye on everything within his authority level. But once the authority level is restricted, or in other words, when portfolio manager thinks that some decision is beyond his remit of authority and he needs to take that to the steering committee, which is exactly uh, where he reports to for the portfolio related matters, then that process does not remain as optimized portfolio process. The other way of saying that is the result or the outputs of the optimized portfolio process, which is nothing but the different type of PPAs and portfolio reports, are going to be presented in the authorized portfolio process to the steering committee, which is also termed as portfolio governance board, and the suggestions and the optimizations and the decisions are going to be taken by the portfolio governance board, right? So this is a decision made by the portfolio governance board about this movement of resources from one component to the other within the portfolio. And this is why this activity most likely has happened in the authorized portfolio process. Now, when I posted this question on my regular Thursday PfMP post, I actually observed that more than 50% of the people who attempted this poll went with option B. So I understand that what's the thought process behind, because while reading the scenario, the general idea that anybody would get is that portfolio oversight, portfolio monitoring, tracking is happening. And I don't disagree with that. This whole decision can only be a possibility or can only be taken when the result of the portfolio oversight, monitoring, tracking is in front of you. But that has been done and dusted. Based on that oversight, monitoring, tracking, and dashboards and results and reports, actually the portfolio manager has brought the insights, the numbers, the stats in front of the steering committee for decision making. So this activity is not happening in the oversight process. Actually, the oversight and optimize both processes has been done and dusted before the situation has happened, right? So you are not in the oversight process. You are not in the optimized portfolio process. You are actually in the authorized portfolio process, where the decision is taken by the steering committee to move the resources from one component or the other to the other because one component is not needed, it's terminated. Now the other reference to prove my claim is PMI standard of portfolio management third edition. So if you go to the governance chapter, and within that you go to the authorized portfolio process, you will see key activities over there. And one of the key activity, and I have to read that out. I'm going to attach a screenshot of that as well to support my claim. So the fourth key activity, sorry, the third key activity would read out like this: reallocating funding and resourcing from the deactivated and terminated portfolio components to the activated portfolio components or the resource. So this is like one of the major activity that the portfolio governance usually perform when they are working in that mode or when they are in the authorized portfolio process, right? So I hope you like this explanation. And in this alignment, option B is the right answer, right? If you have any cross questions, if you have any further confusion, or if you have any arguments to make, feel free to write me in the comment area, or feel free to connect with me over WhatsApp or LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever you feel appropriate. We are available on every communication channel. I will be waiting for your response. I will be waiting for your questions, and I will be back very soon with a new PfMP scenario. Till then, take care. Goodbye.